Ah yes, Kingdoms of Arda, the highly anticipated The Lord of the Rings mod for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. But hang on, it's been some time since the last update, and this begs the question, is Kingdoms of Arda dead? Well, let me put it like this. No. Just no. But in this video, I'll go into what's currently going on, why it's taking so long for a release, what to expect in the future, and what happened to the damn trailer that was mentioned. As most of you know, I also have a different channel called Macbeth of Gondor, where I've made several videos about the plans for Kingdoms of Arda, and some tutorials, in case you want to start making scenes for the game. But let's start by talking about what's currently going on with the mod. Work continues as always, and lots of things are being worked on at the same time. As I've mentioned in the past, Minas Tirith is being worked on, as well as Osgiliath and Minas Morgul. There's also a bunch of villages being worked on. I myself is currently working on a village called Imloth Malui, which is an actual location from the lore. It's where Eoreth is from, in case you remember her from the books. So it's not because nothing is being made that you haven't heard much. It's simply because we are holding back with what we tell and what we show. We try to avoid creating too much hype, as we know there's still a long road ahead, with much more to do. However, there have recently been made some very useful assets for Gondor that will make it much easier for scene makers like myself to create villages, castles and towns. Feel free to check out my time-lapse video where I make a custom Gondorian house. So let's jump to the next part. Why is it taking so long for the first release? Quality takes time, as the saying goes, which also applies for Kingdoms of Arda. But there is more to it than simply that. First of all, we want to release a fully functioning mod with high quality and hopefully without many bugs. We could simply release a bunch of new units with armor and weapons, but we don't want that. We want a proper mod that can provide a good gaming experience. That is why it takes a long time. There's a lot to do. Some of the fans of Kingdoms of Arda have also asked if we could tell how far we are in percentage. While that sounds simple, it's far from the case. How would you measure it? Surely no work is 0%, and 100% is when the mod is complete. But is one scene equal to say one armor set? And is one simple battle scene equal to say Minas Tirith? And what about the lines of code? Is that also equal in percentage? As you can hopefully see, we would have to set up a bunch of rules just to measure that. But even if we did so, and spent an awful long time explaining it too, even then, it would be inaccurate. This is simply because some works get added along the way, and some things get removed or have to be redone. So instead of spending more time trying to figure out this, we would just rather prefer to work on the actual mod. Secondly, modding is quite different from normal game development. You see, all of us work on the mod for free in our free time, and it would probably shock you guys to know how many hours of work are poured into this, not just by me, but all of us. So each individual have to balance the time they spend modding with the rest of their life. You know, work, school, friends, family, girlfriends and so forth. It's not always an easy thing to balance, and at times things come up that requires time and attention, and this also means that a task for the mod takes longer than anticipated. I've been in this situation myself, and only recently returned to making scenes for the mod. Now add to the mix that some team members do not return. They simply don't have the time, or perhaps not the needed dedication. It's a very common thing in modding. People are always very eager to help in the beginning, and then they start working on something for the mod, but then a month or several months later, they quit or in some other way stop working on the mod. Sometimes without doing anything that could actually be used for the mod. It requires a lot from people, more than most would understand if they haven't worked on a mod before. And this actually brings us to the trailer, and why it never came out. When I saw the draft last summer, it looked like it was 90% done, perhaps even more than that. But the guy that worked on it simply ceased to work and sort of ghosted the project, if you will. We got no ill will towards him, of course, and do plan to make a teaser or trailer eventually. However, the other team members got more important stuff to do than making trailers. It's simply not important in regards to finishing the first release. At the same time, we don't really want to hype up the mod currently, as I've mentioned, but feel free to join the Discord server. Keep your eyes open for previews and news, where updates are posted. So what can you expect in the future? I'm always trying not to guarantee anything here, especially if I can't keep my promise. But I think it's safe to say I'll do a faction review of Thunderland very soon. As some of you know, the Isengard video have been mentioned to be next, but there's still more work needed to be done before I make that video. Mainly Isengard as a location and Saruman himself. Other than that, you can of course expect more previews on Discord and ModDB. I know we got a new Gondorian village done that we really want to show in a different video very soon. You see, we're actively looking for new sceners to help us make this mod, so feel free to watch my tutorial playlist shown at the end of this video and then apply through Discord. Eventually we will also show other things created for the mod, but I don't know when. There are plenty of things done that we have simply not shown yet, so all of this should hopefully answer the question of this video's title. Is Kingdoms of Arda dead? No, not at all. Quite the opposite, I'd say. Work is being done, and soon we hope to show you fans even more. So thank you all for stopping by, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. If you want to learn how to make awesome scenes too, make sure to check out this playlist and keep an eye open for the upcoming videos. As always, thank you all for watching and farewell till next time.